ВСГ-1.
Moscow Station on stage to ground 1.
Отвечаем, ВСГ-1.
Go ahead on stage to ground 1.
Значит, работаем мы по монитору страницы 19.
We are working total book, page 19. Performed all steps
До Т-гарантии курса 03-17-21.
until the guaranteed signal acquisition of course 03-17-21. So we have performed all steps until that. Copy.
Good evening from Mission Control in Houston and the International Space Station Flight Control Room, where at this hour the Orbit 3 team of flight controllers on duty, working in concert with their Russian counterparts at the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow, in the final phase of a 28-hour maneuver to relocate the uncrewed ISS Progress 78 cargo craft to the NAOCA multipurpose laboratory module for a series of tests that will prepare NAOCA for the assumption of orientation control of the International Space Station. Just last night, the ISS Progress 78 undocked from the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. This is a replay of the undocking that occurred at 6:42 p.m. Central Time, 7:42 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday evening. The Progress slowly backed away from the Poisk module, conducted a separation maneuver, and began to phase away from the International Space Station to a distance of about 120 miles for the re-rendezvous operations that will culminate with a docking to NAOCA less than 52 minutes from now. This is a look at the configuration of the International Space Station and what it will look like after the Progress 78 docks to the new multipurpose laboratory module that arrived at the International Space Station in late July. At this hour, the Progress 78 is less than 30 kilometers away from the International Space Station. Everything is going very well with the rendezvous. In the Zvezda service module, Russian cosmonauts Anton Shkaplerov and Pyotr Dubrov, who are part of the Expedition 66 crew, are at a control panel ready to assume manual control of the flying of the Progress 78 in the unlikely event a failure would occur to the Corps' automated rendezvous system on Progress. The Corps' systems on both the Progress and the service module were activated a short time ago and checked out. Everything on both sides, both on the station side and on the Progress itself, indicate that all systems are operating normally. The 78 Progress vehicle, which carried cargo, food, fuel, and supplies up to the International Space Station residence, launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan back on June 29th on a 33-orbit, 48-hour rendezvous profile, docking to the Poisk module on July 1st. The 78 Progress will undock from NAOCA for good on Thanksgiving Day. That's one day before the new Prishal node module arrives at the International Space Station. It is scheduled to be launched on a Soyuz booster from Baikonur on November 24th and dock to NAOCA on November 26th. This is the new bulbous-looking node module that has multiple docking ports. It will dock to the same port on NAOCA that Progress 78 is about to re-rendezvous and dock to complete this relocation activity. From now until the time that the Progress approaches the International Space Station, there will be a series of thruster firings called impulse burns, basically fine-tuning the course of Progress toward the International Space Station. At about 11:09 p.m. Central Time, the Progress will begin a 59-degree fly-around of the International Space Station to precisely align its forward docking port probe to the docking port on NAOCA. There will be a short period of station keeping to enable Russian flight controllers to assess the orientation of the Progress for its final approach before the command is given to begin that final approach that will close the gap and allow Progress to dock. Link up to the NAOCA module is scheduled at 11:23 p.m. Central Time, 12:23 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday morning. After docking, there will be a short period of and a short opportunity for the relative motion between the two vehicles to dampen out against one another, and the retraction of the docking probe will pull the two docking surfaces, both the Progress and Naoka, tightly together to enable hooks to close and form a hard mate. Shkaplerov and
Are you ready?
Dubrov will then conduct leak checks at the docking interface between Progress and Naoka before the hatches are reopened to the uncrewed Progress cargo craft.
Please open page 19 of Tour Operations for Progress Docking, ODF. It is open.
Радиограмма есть у вас?
Do you have the radiogram? 0568. Yes, we have it, of course.
Там вот эти времена все гарантированно.
There are times of the signal.
At this hour, the International Space Station is flying about 258 miles above northern Kazakhstan, to the north of the Baikonur Cosmodrome, which supported the launch of the 78 Progress craft back on June 29th. Down in Baikonur, preparations are underway for next week's launch of the next uncrewed Progress resupply craft, the 79 Progress, that is scheduled to launch from Baikonur on Wednesday and arrive for a docking to the aft port of the Zvezda service module next Friday night.
All right.
79 Progress will be carrying almost 3 tons of food, fuel, and supplies for the Expedition 66 crew aboard the International Space Station. Except for the Russian cosmonauts, the rest of the station crew is asleep at this hour. Shkaplerov and Dubrov obviously in charge of tonight's ISS monitoring of the Progress's approach for docking to the multipurpose laboratory module.
3:38 is the time, so it will be in a minute. Right now we do not have the video. Moscow Station on Space Ground 1.
На связи.
Go ahead on Space Ground 1. Anton.
Ну, доложил, что у нас пропало изображение.
So I have reported that we do not have video, nothing at all. Copy?
Антон, там с дальности 9 километров.
Anton, from the distance 9 kilometers,
19 страница тоже сделайте.
could you please perform all steps at page 19, and I will be standing by for your report. Okay, I will use laptop. All right, the test, right now the range is 12.4 and the rate range is minus 19, and there is a short signal acquisition flag.
Through the interpreter, Russian flight controllers talking to Anton Shkaplerov aboard the International Space Station, with the 78 Progress closing slowly but surely, now to a distance of less than 12 kilometers away from the complex.
The image, display 44, approach, there is some interference there.
Again, the purpose of this relocation to undock Progress from the Poisk module and to relocate it to the Naoka multipurpose laboratory module is to check the propellant lines on the new multipurpose laboratory module for any leaks in advance of its certification to support roll control of the International Space Station, one of the orientation control capabilities that the Russian segment modules provide for the international outpost.
And I'm performing steps 7 and 8 of the radiogram. We confirm, Peter.
8-му шагу уже даем УЗ, можно включить режим запись.
You can start the recording mode as per step 8. We're giving you a go.
We're in a short handover right now between satellites on the tracking and data relay satellite system. We'll reacquire our downlink television capability from the station in just a few minutes. Again, everything proceeding on track for the relocation of the Progress 78 cargo craft and a docking to the Naoka Multipurpose Laboratory Module that's scheduled for 11:23 p.m. Central Time, just about 42 minutes from now.
Moscow station on space to ground 1. The recording is on and the timer counter on the application of the viewer are incrementing, and the video image in both applications is on. Great news, Piotr. Thank you so much. We will have LOS, and right now we are not receiving the video stream, but the video recording mode is on. Thank you for your work.
Less than 10 kilometers now separating the Progress from its destination at the docking port of the Naoka module. And again, the way this choreography will work is Progress docks tonight to Naoka. It will remain there for the next month and will undock for good on November 25th, on Thanksgiving Day, the day after the new node module is launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan on a Soyuz booster. That node module, called Prishal, which is the Russian word for port, will automatically link up to the Naoka module to provide a multi-port docking capability for Russian vehicles in the future. You're now seeing, or we were seeing for just a moment, the engineering cross-haired view from the Progress's external camera, and there it is again, as the Progress continues its chase to catch up to the International Space Station for docking just 40 minutes from now.
Moscow station on space to ground 1. Go ahead on space to ground 1, Anton. I completed all steps at page 19 of the Toru audio book. Copy, Anton. Now, you can prepare the command for Toru activation, but you will activate it on our go after the third burn. Well, copy
the Toru that's being referred to in that conversation with Anton Shkaplerov is the Cyrillic acronym, if you will, for the telerobotically operated rendezvous system. That is basically a control panel with a joystick in the Zvezda service module that the two cosmonauts are monitoring, along with a television monitor, in the unlikely event that there would be a problem with the Corps' automated rendezvous system, necessitating them taking over manual control of the flying of the Progress for its docking to Naoka. In this view from the external camera on the Progress in the lower left-hand corner, you can see two values, 7.4 kilometers. That's the distance now between Progress and the International Space Station. And the bottom value, minus 10.6, and closing, that's the rate of closure in meters per second. So the values being assessed by the Russian flight controllers, everything in order, as we are expecting an on-time docking of the Progress in its relocation activity from the Poisk module, from which it separated yesterday and undocked, back away to a distance of some 120 miles from the station and now is returning to another port, the Naoka module, to provide the capability for leak checks on the multipurpose laboratory module's propellant lines in advance of Naoka taking over orientation control, roll control of the International Space Station in the future. Here in the flight control room, Flight Director Rick Henfling is the Orbit 3 flight director on console at this hour. He's conducting a poll of his flight controllers and the international partner flight control teams to get a go for docking. That will be relayed to the shift flight director at the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov outside of Moscow. As Progress continues its trek back for a redocking to the International Space Station, preparations well underway at the Kennedy Space Center for the launch on October 31st of the Crew 3 crew on a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket aboard the Crew Dragon Endurance. You see their portrait there, Rasha Chari, the commander of Endurance, the pilot, veteran astronaut Tom Marshburn, European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer, and NASA astronaut Caleb Barron. They will be launched at 1:21 a.m. Central Time, 2:21 a.m. Eastern Time on October 31st. They will dock to the International Space Station's Harmony module, the forward port of Harmony, some 20 or so hours after launch. They are scheduled to arrive at the Kennedy Space Center next Tuesday for final pre-launch preparations. There is a wide variety of briefings and crew activities that will be broadcast throughout the week next week on NASA television. We also will be providing live coverage of the launch of Progress 79, the next unpiloted Progress resupply craft. We will be on the air next Wednesday, October 27th at 6:45 p.m. Central Time, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, with launch coverage, the 79 Progress to launch on a Soyuz 2.1A booster from Site 31 at the Baikonur Cosmodrome at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which will be 5 a.m. in Baikonur on the 28th. The docking of 79 Progress to the aft port of the Zvezda service module is scheduled for Friday night, October 29th. We go on the air with that at 7:45 p.m. Central, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, with the docking scheduled at 8:34 p.m. Central Time, 9:34 p.m. Eastern Time. All of this information is available on the web at www.nasa.gov. Clocks here in Mission Control are ticking backward toward the expected start of the fly-around of the Progress 78 in the vicinity of the International Space Station about 13 and a half minutes from now. This again will be a 59-degree fly-around to precisely orient the forward docking probe on the Progress with the docking port of the Naoka multipurpose laboratory module.
Антон, СОПу Москвы, ответьте.
Anton Moscow on Space Ground 1.
слушаю.
Go ahead.
Вы станцию наблюдаете?
Can you see the station?
Нет, у нас
No,
нет. Иногда
we are not receiving the image.
в искаженном виде.
Sometimes we have some distorted image on the screen, but it goes away right away. Are you receiving the stream?
Помехами.
Yeah, we are, but a lot of interference.
Ждем третью коррекцию.
We're standing by for this third burn. So could you please provide a running commentary?
Хорошо, сейчас пока с большими помехами.
Sounds good. Right now we are seeing display 44, but with a lot of distortion and interference.
Вот более устойчивые.
Right now it is more stable. The range is 3500, and the range rate is minus 9.72.
Less than 3.5 kilometers now separating Progress from the station, closing at a rate of just under 10 meters per second. During final approach, the rate of closure by the Progress toward the Naoka docking port will slow to about 1/10 of a meter per second for contact and capture.
Copy your last about the range. Sounds good.
The International Space Station passing just to the south of Osaka, Japan, moving from northwest to southeast to begin a trek across the Pacific Ocean.
We can see this.
Once the Progress undocks for good from Naoka on Thanksgiving Day, it will be deorbited to plummet into the Earth's atmosphere and burn up harmlessly over the Pacific Ocean.
Изображение пропало.
So the image went away. We are not receiving the image. Copy, Anton.
And over the northwest Pacific Ocean, we're about to get our first view. You saw it for a moment. We'll be seeing that Progress 78 cargo craft unpiloted as it moves in for its final approach and docking to Naoka less than 30 minutes from now.
Наблюдаем обратный заворот, дальность 2.
And there is the Progress. Again, it undocked at 6:42 p.m. Central Time last night, separated to a distance of about 120 miles away from the station, and began its re-rendezvous several hours ago. All of its thruster firings and mid-course correction burns all pre-programmed into its onboard computers, and now is in the home stretch of its return to the station for its relocation to the multipurpose laboratory module.
Антон, СУПа Москвы.
Anton, Moscow, it's a go to activate Toru from the laptop.
Принял, выдаю.
Copy in work. Work from the laptop.
И приступаем к работе по 21 странице.
And you can go to page 21, step 4.1. So release all keys on the PUBPS on the signal conversion unit panel. Yes, all keys are released, and I'm performing step 4.1.
Включаю сеть.
Anton Shkaplerov and Pyotr Dubrov in the Zvezda service module conducting a final test of the backup rendezvous system, the telerobotically operated rendezvous system called Toru, operating a joystick from a control panel in Zvezda. At the moment, the Corps' automated rendezvous system, however, is functioning as advertised, with Progress, as you see in this picture, less than 2 kilometers away from the station.
So is the network on? Yes, we have it on, and also the controllers power, and I'm activating the signal conversion unit initial. Copy. So I send the command, and I have the LED illumination. Copy. Start the checkout of the raw and root controllers. So place them in the convenient position in work. So they are in the initial position, both controllers, they are in the working position, actually. Copy. So I'm deflecting the ROR, rotational controller, on all channels, upwards. So the LED is illuminated. Copy.
And once again, we're in a very brief handover between satellites on the tracking and data relay satellite system. Everything continues on course, on track, for an on-time docking of the Progress to the Nauka multipurpose laboratory module.
Moscow station on space to ground 1. Go ahead, we had a short LOS, Anton. So what about the tests of the controllers? Yes, the raw rotational controllers, all 4 LEDs were on all channels, so everything was nominal, and I'm starting the checkout of the root translational hand controller. Copy. Upwards, the internal and external LEDs are illuminated, and then they are off now. Now downwards, the same. To the left, all external and internal are on, neutral, off. To the right, the switch, I'm...
And as you continue to listen to the conversation through the translator with the cosmonauts on board the station, there is the view of the International Space Station and the cross-haired external engineering camera on Progress as it's about to
and I am
cut its distance to the International Space Station to less than 1 kilometer.
The signal conversion unit, initial, copy. So I'm done, and that's my report. And I'm ready to perform step 4.3. Yes, it's a go to perform 4.3.
Back with ISS external camera views now of the Progress. Moving in slowly but surely, closing at a rate now of about 2.5 meters per second, some 900 meters away from the station, about 4 minutes away from initiating its 59-degree fly-around.
And the interval is 5 seconds. Yes, that's correct. 5 second interval. 2 of them are illuminated.
Can you get it?
3 are illuminated.
Принято.
Copy.
Комфортное изображение.
And make sure that the image works for you.
Одна горит, решение комфортное.
Yes, one of them is illuminated and the image looks good. I'm deactivating the operating mode. It is deactivated now. Copy.
Сейчас наблюдаем дальность 780, скорость.
Range is 770 and range rate negative 277.
750 meters separating Progress from the International Space Station. The Progress so far has dodged any problems during what so far has been a flawless approach for docking some 23 minutes from now.
And make sure that the hand controllers are in hot backup mode. What about the overlays? Did you activate the overlays? Yes, that's correct, and I have adjusted the overlays as well. Okay, copy all. Make sure that you set up the stopwatch too. Stopwatch is set up.
Once again, this unpiloted vehicle launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome back on June 29th, docking to the station's Poisk module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the complex on July 1st. Once this redocking to the multipurpose laboratory module is completed, there will be a series of leak checks of the Naoka's propellant lines to make sure that there are no leaks before the MLM, as it is known, the multipurpose laboratory module, is certified to begin orientation control of the international outpost.
Для служебного модуля она не подходит.
Be careful. And the one that's used for the SM cannot be used for the docking node. So which one should we use? So the one that is for the SM only matches the diameter and the docking target, and the one that is for MLM, the 90-degree target, that one, it matches better the docking mode. So make sure that you're monitoring the actual overlay as well as the squares, and I mean the external and internal overlays. All right, so we're going to be using the grid and the overlays then.
Again, in the Zvezda service module, Russian cosmonauts Anton Shkaplerov and Pyotr Dubrov are keeping a watchful eye on the Progress as it is about to initiate its fly-around of the International Space Station to orient its forward docking probe with the Naoka docking port.
No, and it looks like the range is 400, 440 actually. Copy. Range 400
and the Progress now has initiated its fly-around, again a 59-degree maneuver to orient the Progress with Naoka. There will be again a period, very, very brief, of station keeping after the fly-around is complete as Russian flight controllers assess the precise alignment of Progress with the multipurpose laboratory module's docking port before the command is given to initiate the final approach. Docking is scheduled less than 20 minutes from now.
Range 350, range rate negative 0.7, copy. And angular size of the SM says that indeed the range rate is 3 copy.
meters now separating Progress as it continues its fly around. Closing at a rate of about 0.6 of a meter per second.
Range 300, range rate negative 0.6, copy. And I'm monitoring the yaw translation.
Принято.
And it is at the center of the screen, copy.
Progress and the International Space Station flying in tandem, 258 miles over the Pacific Ocean to the northeast of the continent of Australia.
Range 270, range rate negative 0.5, copy.
Progress now about halfway through its fly-around maneuver.
On the plan.
About 3 minutes to go until that brief period of station keeping.
Range is 250, range rate negative 0.3, copy. Range is 240. Inaudible.
Принято.
Copy.
Flight controllers reporting a good signal lock between the Progress and the Core's automated rendezvous system on the Naoka module.
Next to the docking node, and I see that the roll maneuver is in progress. Copy.
Антон, приготовьтесь.
Anton, get ready.
The Progress is undergoing a very subtle roll maneuver that will orient its solar arrays prior to the initiation of final approach.
4.3, page 2, copy. But this will be performed on MCC Moscow Go, certainly. Range is 200. Roll maneuver.
And Progress has put the brakes on, Fly around is complete. Station keeping underway. Again, this will be very brief as Russian flight controllers assess the orientation of the Progress to the Naoka docking port.
Radiogram, copy all. Activating the signal conversion unit initial mode operation. All of the 4 LEDs are illuminated. Four LEDs are
And content with what they're seeing, the Russian flight controllers have given the command to initiate final approach.
please proceed
190 meters, separating Progress from Naoka, closing at a rate of 0.7 of a meter per second.
page 23 copy. Breakout enabled. Can you confirm? Yes, we confirm. Range rate negative 0.84 and range is
Принято.
0.168. Yes, that's correct, and keep monitoring range and range rate. Range is now 160. And SM angular size also confirms that the range is 0.160. Copy. Range is 140. Range rate negative 0.8. Copy.
All good reports coming in through the translator from Russian flight controllers, relaying the data that they're seeing to Anton Shkaplerov and Pyotr Dubrov, members of the Expedition 66 crew on board the International Space Station. 122 meters separating Progress from its destination.
По Гриничу 4.27, то согласно Лукову 7.27.
So, what you're seeing on video monitor, okay, Moscow, please repeat your last, I didn't copy.
7.27.
7:27, so 2:7.
Гринич у нас 4.27.
Video monitor, it says 4:27.
Ход в тень.
Лукову.
Oh, what you mean is eclipse fast start. Yes, that's correct, because what you have on your video monitor is the Moscow degree time. Okay, now I copy. Range is 0.09, range rate negative 0.5, and the docking target is virtually at the center of the screen.
A great view of the Progress 78 cargo craft that delivered some 3 tons of food, fuel, and supplies to the expedition crew on the International Space Station back in early July. Now finding a new home at the station, having undocked from the Poisk module last night, now about to redock to the new Naoka multipurpose laboratory module.
And the angular size of the docking node is slightly over than inaudible. Range is 0.06, range rate negative
Принято.
0.25. Docking target is at the center and crosshairs are aligned. Copy. The size of the docking node is 1.5 squares. The docking target is at the center. Crosshairs aligned. Range is 0.049 kilometers and range rate negative 0.19. Copy all, and please stand by for SSVP docking and internal system mode activation. Moscow, the image is gone now. Copy.
Progress in good shape as it continues to close the gap to about 48 meters now from linking up to the Naoka module for the next 5 weeks. Progress's docking mechanism has now been powered up.
Round 1 on the laptop. The range and range rate are insane, and SSVP mode is ready. Yes, we confirm that SSVP mode is ready at a range of 30 meters. Please do not issue the OWL TACOR command. Okay, copy. Do not issue the command at a range of 30 meters. Range now is 40 and range rate negative 0.17. And the dock
Progress and the station flying in tandem with one another, 38 meters separating the two vehicles. Over the South Pacific Ocean at this hour, soon to enter an orbital sunset.
How is the docking target visible? It is sort of dark, so do you think we should use the AGC? Well, Peter is saying that floodlights are on and that he can see the target in the window. So should we activate the AGC then? Yes, so the range is 33 now, and I'm sending the BP signal conversion unit initial position, breakout enabled, operating mode, AGC mode, copy. And I see the docking target, crosshairs are aligned. Are you getting the video? The size of the docking target is 3.55 squares, and range is 25, range rate negative 0.112. The target is at the center, crosshairs are aligned, copy.
Now the view from the external camera on the Progress, and then there's another view of the Progress as it is about to move in for the final approach. You're looking at the Ultraflex solar arrays of the Cygnus cargo craft that's attached to the U.S. segment of the station.
And the size of the docking target is 1 square. Anton, please proceed with the steps on page 24 from now on. Copy. Crosshairs are aligned. Docking target is on the right within 1 degree, and I am seeing a slight roll. A movement, copy.
Progress now 13 meters away.
Are you getting the video? Yes, we are. The target is at the center. Copy. Moscow, the image just froze and it disappeared, and it is back on now. Copy.
At the top of your screen, the Progress 78 cargo craft. On the right of your screen is the Soyuz MS-19 that carried Anton Shkaplerov, Russian actress Yulia Peresild, and her producer-director Klim Shipenko to the International Space Station a couple of weeks ago. It is docked to the Rosviet module. That is the vehicle that will bring Shkaplerov, NASA astronaut Mark Vande Hei, and Russian cosmonaut Pyotr Dubrov home late March of next year. For Vande Hei and Dubrov, currently targeting 355 days in space. Less than 10 meters now.
Target is at the center, and the size of the target is approximately 1.5 squares. Copy. Standing by for contact.
Standing by for contact and capture. And we have contact and we have capture. Docking confirmed at 11:21 p.m. Central Time, 12:21 a.m. Eastern Time, as Progress and the International Space Station flew 258 miles over the South Pacific.
Tour deactivation on Kosovo per page 27. Stand by for tour deactivation command after retraction. And congratulations on successful Progress docking. And we would like to congratulate everyone as well on the successful docking.
As smooth as a rendezvous can possibly be, the relocation of the Progress complete. The docking probe is now currently retracting. That will pull the two docking surfaces, the Progress and the Naoka module, flush against one another for the initiation of the closing of the hooks. Once again, docking occurring over the South Pacific at 11:21 p.m. Central Time, 12:21 a.m. Eastern Time. Three vehicles side by side by side, a Progress, a Soyuz, the Cygnus in that shot that we saw just a moment ago. In the foreground, the Northrop Grumman Cygnus cargo craft, the SS Ellison Onizuka, the Progress 78 that just relocated itself and redocked to the Naoka multipurpose laboratory module, and at the top of your screen, the Soyuz MS-19 that is docked to the Rosviet module, all at Earth-facing ports at the International Space Station. We're standing by for the initiation of hooks to close to form a hard mate between the two vehicles. That'll complete tonight's operation. A series of leak checks will be conducted by Shkaplerov and Dubirov over the course of the next couple of hours before they deactivate the Naoka multipurpose laboratory module systems. And the report now that the hooks are driving. This will take just a moment or two to form a hard mate.
Moscow station on Space Ground 1, operator. I'm ready to perform steps 10 and 11 and to activate the recording.
Петь, все принято, да?
Operator, we copy all and you're going to proceed with this step.
Идем дальше по радиограмме.
And also you can proceed.
And we now have confirmation that the hooks are closed between Progress and the Naoka multipurpose laboratory module as the International Space Station approaches the coast of Chile. This was a picture-perfect rendezvous for Progress 78. No issues whatsoever. As smooth as silk as a rendezvous can be. As the Progress is now relocated to the multipurpose laboratory module for the conduct of leak checks of the Naoka's propellant lines in advance of the certification of Naoka to assume orientation roll control of the station when required. So with that, we'll wrap up our coverage for tonight. Progress has successfully relocated after spending about 28 hours away from the International Space Station. It is now hard mate to Naoka for the next 5 weeks before it departs for good on Thanksgiving Day. Next up will be the launch of the Progress 79 cargo craft next Wednesday from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, with our coverage beginning next Wednesday evening at 6:45 p.m. Central Time for a launch at 7 p.m. Central Time, 5 a.m. Baikonur time on Thursday, October 28th, putting the next unpiloted supply craft to the International Space Station on a 33-orbit trajectory to arrive on Friday night and a docking at the aft port of the Zvezda service module. So with that, we'll wrap up our coverage for tonight. Plenty of action coming up at the International Space Station, both for Russian vehicles and U.S. vehicles. You can follow it all on our website at www.nasa.gov. In the meantime, have a great evening and good night from Mission Control in Houston.
Антон, СУП в Москве.
Anton, Moscow.
Антон, Супер Москва.
Anton, MCC Moscow.
Да, слушаю.
Go ahead.
Еще раз поступило добро на отключение.
And we have yet another go to deactivate the system on for page 27, but please be careful with the sequence of commands that are sent from the control panels from for the BPS signal conversion unit, for the switches. Okay, our operating mode is on. Deactivating manual mode now, and manual control is deactivated. LEDs are illuminated, and RHC and THC pulse mode is not illuminated. Deactivating TV system. All the internal external LEDs are on. Selection of is illuminated, and there is no ISS image on symbol C. The same for MAC-PD monitor and SSC monitor. Sending the command, and all the internal and external LEDs are on. External LEDs are now off, and the floodlight is not activated, it's not on, and deactivating the operating mode. The operating mode is off, internal LEDs are illuminated, and I am deactivating the initial mode of the signal conversion unit. Retreat is not illuminated. Deactivating the network, and deactivating the network, the power and all the hand controllers, and I'm also deactivating the COM panel line 3, proceeding with the laptop steps now. Yes, we confirm.
Антон, Супер Москва, ответьте.
Anton, this is MCC Moscow. Go ahead. Yes, I have deactivated the UKV transmitters on the laptop, duplex, VHF, and Toro, and also the image on the one was of poor quality. It was blinking a lot, and also I have deactivated the PKUC control panel. PPS control panel MAC monitor is off now, and now I am moving the RHC and THC to the top position. Copy all, and Anton, once again I'd like to congratulate you on the successful docking. Thank you for your excellent work. and I'm handing over to the Moscow control room now. And Andrei, thank you very much. I'll talk to you on Monday. Talk to you soon. Moscow station on space to ground 1 for Perter. I have completed all the steps of radiogram 0574 and all the mirrors are deactivated now. The video was downlinked via OCA. The files are named the same as the radiogram copy. Thank you very much for your work, and also congratulations on the successful automatic docking. Thank you. Moscow, station on space to ground 1.
Встречаем вас, господин.
Go ahead on space to ground 1.
Переходим на штатный средства связи.
And we are switching to nominal communications. Yes, that's correct. We are going to discuss it with MCC Houston now, and we're going to reconfigure public calls. Copy. Moscow station on space to ground 1.
Встречаем вас, господин.
Go ahead and space to ground 1. We have reconfigured COM back to nominal.
Это Антон, верно. Тоже
Copy.
телеметрия подтверждает.
Until that's correct, we can confirm it via telemetry as well. Moscow Station on Space Ground 1.
Отвечаем ВСГ-1.
Go ahead on Space Ground 1. So regarding further activities, I will need to set up KSD cap, extension, and other equipment. I don't think we have that kit in the MLM special adapter, so my question is, where exactly should they retrieve all these accessories from? Filter, copy your question. I'm going to check that for you now. Thanks.
МКС, СОПу Москвы,
Station Moscow on Space Ground 1 for Peter
по укладке состав.
regarding equipment storage.
На связи, господин.
Go ahead and Space Ground 1.
Ведь посмотрели, можно взять
Peter,
укладку.
we checked that for you, and you're going to retrieve a kit from MRAM2 that is located in the bag for
Штрих-код.
STR accessories.
В принципе,
And if you're ready, I can give you the barcode number. Well, no, it's not necessary. I guess it's that bag that was prepared, but I guess I will write it down just in case. 000
8 607.
58607.
3:0:50.
Copy 000 58607.
Да, верно.
Be all? Thanks. That's correct.
Московская МКС.
Moscow Station on Space Ground 1 for Peter. Regarding the kit with additional equipment, yes, go ahead.
Ну, сейчас я достал эту укладку.
I have retrieved the kit,
Ручка ДС-21.
and it is missing a handle 1021 as well as extension. There is a KSD pressure stabilization valve cap, but there is no screwdriver for it. So I don't think that I can use the kit number 0005886.
Принято, Петь. Сейчас посмотрим, откуда можно еще взять.
Okay, Peter, copy all and stand by. We're going to check for an alternative location from where you can retrieve it.
Прогресс, ЦУПа Москвы, канале СГ.
Station Moscow on Space to Ground 1.
Слушаю.
Go ahead.
Посадку можно взять.
You can retrieve the token assembly kit from MRM1 panel 208, and also I'm ready to give you the barcode number.
Готов записать.
Ready to copy.
0
000-52101.
Принято 3
Copy 000-52101. I will check it right now.
Верно.
Yes, Peter, that's